Hey Top Gun, I wanted to make today's video special, hence I decided to film this interview near Telugu Lake, where our summer house is located. Hope you enjoy the views as well as the content and all the tips mentioned. Let's go! Hey Top Gun and welcome to the channel, and you're in the right place if you want to learn about IT businesses, IT jobs, work-at-home jobs and online businesses. So if you're interested in these topics, make sure to click the red subscribe button and the bell icon right next to it and continue watching. Today is a special day for me because today I'm going to interview someone who is related to myself, meet my husband Leonid, who has done his shift to an IT industry and became a DevOps engineer. So if you're interested to learn how to become a DevOps engineer and how to change your industry and shift to an IT, make sure to click the like button so that more people could see this video. So today we'll learn the possible reasons behind the shift, so that if you feel like you're having the same reasons, you're not feeling alone, how difficult it is to shift your industry, what are the necessary steps to take in order to become an IT specialist, and some extra advice from Leonid, like first-hand experience here. So if you're interested, continue watching. Hi Leonid.
Hi. No, thanks for bringing me here. I'm sure I will hate the experience.
Oh, you will survive. So Leo, could you share with us your experience, your background? So what was your background? Have you started from scratch or did you have some tech background previously? And so have you started from scratch, or how difficult it was for you to shift to an IT industry? Have you had a background or have you started from scratch?
I've got a master degree in telecommunications sphere. In the fourth year of my study, I've started to work as a technical support engineer in a local internet provider. So this is how I start my career, from a position of technical support engineer. A few years forward, I've became a junior network engineer, and 2 years later, I've become a senior network engineer. Year after, I realized then that I stopped to grow, because in our company we used a limited stack of technologies, and I realized that I need to grow up and I need to change my sphere, change company in which I want to work in future. So this is how I start to search a job in IT sphere and search about how to become IT specialist. First of all, I read articles and watched YouTube videos like what is IT, how to...
Like this one?
Yes, like this one. How to become a developer, software developer, etc. And I've found very interesting online courses. It's called Java Rush. It was an interesting and interactive form, and there was a lot of practice, because theory, this is good, but theory without practice is just some information in your head. Then I realized that I need some offline courses, when I immediately can ask my mentor to watch in my code, or some questions or some errors if I take in process of developing. That is why I bought a general and few times after an advanced course of Java in Hillel IT School in Odessa, Ukraine. I learned Java with real Java technical lead from an international IT company. This was a good time, and I learned a lot of information about Java and how it works. JVM, memory structure, Maven or Gradle build systems, algorithms, data structures, object-oriented programming principles, solid principles, a lot of. Also Spring Framework was on advanced course. And I think this is a mandatory technology stack for Java developer, also basis of algorithms and data structures to to understand how all program languages works. After completing of my courses, I've started to search an IT job. But this was not so easy and quick. And my wife helped me create and set up my LinkedIn page. And only after that, HRs started to write me and called me with an offer to take an interview on some IT position like regular Java engineer, configuration engineer, system engineer. I realized that I need to start from some position in IT, and this is how I became a configuration engineer and how I started work in Luxoft as configuration engineer.
You were proposed not the position that you were applying to, right?
Yes. But configuration engineer, it was also interesting position, and I was also happy because I've used my Java skills. I created plugins to Atlassian, Jira, and Confluence, and this was cool. Real production system, real production Jira. Next, I starting to grow up very quickly because our team was multi-project, and we're working on not only on some developers positions. So we have DevOps engineers, configuration engineers, support engineers in our team, and soon I started to teach Jenkins and Docker, and also I quickly learned Python because it was needed to our new project. My managers told me, so you know Java, you know programming language, please quickly learn Python. So this is how I learned Python. I think 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Express course.
But this real was more easy because I have basis of these programming languages, like I said, this basis of data structures, algorithms, etc. Very quickly I started on next project as DevOps engineer, because on that time I already knew Jenkins, Python, Docker, also great Java experience, and this was enough to start as a junior, middle DevOps engineer on project. Also currently I don't stop working, don't stop studying. I preparing to AWS examining, and also I learned Kubernetes, Yocto, and a lot of more interesting stuff which needed for my future projects. I know because in my sphere where I'm working in automotive, Yocto is a very popular tool.
Great, thank you, Leonid. And if you didn't know, sorry for wearing sunglasses, the sun is like beaming. It's like 30 degrees Celsius today. So so if you didn't know, previously me and Leonid, we studied together for 5 years in Odessa Telecommunications Academy, so we both have a master's degree in telecommunications. So Leo, so you had a steady, stable job in telecommunications, and you were like senior telecommunications engineer. So what were the real reasons behind you wanting to shift in industry? So what were your reasons for wanting to become an IT engineer?
I realized that I stopped growing in my company, and I love new technologies. I read, I watched videos, and I knew that I think that everyone should always raise the bar of their knowledge. Don't stop learning. Don't stuck on position because the life is moving. It's moving, always moving in some directions, and that is why I think
that's the main reason. But what about the money question?
Yes, also money question was not the last, but was not the first, because money is good, but you need always you need to think about your future, not about money, about your future on this planet in your life. And you must growing not in your money balance, also in your career balance.
Yeah, you made a good point about improving yourself over and over again, because yes, the world is ever changing and we have to change along with it, because if we don't run fast enough, we are in the danger of being stuck behind, and that is not something you want to happen. And also, I presume that one of the reasons you haven't mentioned is being a good example for the kids.
Yeah.
So, yes, and Leo, how long did it take you to land your first IT job? So how long was your going into IT journey from the moment you started to learn new technologies to the moment you landed your first IT job?
About 2 years when I'm starting to preparing and focusing on my goal to change my job, change my career. These 2 years was in studying of Java, Maven, algorithms, data structures. Why so long? Because I have a kids. I tried to studying, but kids take a lot of time, and I was so tired after work. I play with kids and then trying to study, so that's why so long. I think I can I could have faster, make it faster.
Yeah, absolutely. I do agree, and I can confirm that this was this was being the case, because at that time I was actively building my career, my own IT career, and Leo was the primary caregiver to our children. And hence, of course, when you're a primary caregiver to children, it's close to impossible, but it's still possible to make a change in yourself, to improve yourself. But of course, it takes a lot longer. So for Leo, it took like 2 years, but if you have like lesser obligations and less responsibilities, it might take a lot less. Like some people take courses for QA engineers, and like 4 months they're taking the position of a junior QA engineer. So for each person it's different, because our situations are different. So you should judge. So don't look upon someone who took some course and in a month he started making zillions, because you have a different situation, and it's okay. It doesn't matter how long your journey takes. If it takes you somewhere, it's worth it. And yes, Leo, so could you tell me what was the most difficult thing when you shifted your job and when you became an IT engineer? So what was the most difficult thing for you?
So I think starting in a new position and create your first real benefit to your company, to your team. I think this was most challenging part, yes. Until I felt that I can do it, I don't feel safe.
Yeah, you didn't feel safe. Well, thank you so much. And one of the last questions. Could you provide a sort of tutorial for those people who want to become a DevOps engineer, and what steps they should take in order to become a DevOps engineer? And so what technologies they should learn, and what would be your step-by-step process of going into IT journey, going into a DevOps position journey?
First of all, it's Linux. Linux, you need to know about Linux from scratch. You don't need to be a real hardcore Linux administrator, but for sure you will need to found some issues in system, getting logs, parsing logs, and set up some servers, etc. Build nodes, etc. So second, it's Jenkins. Jenkins old, but very important build tool, and use it in production, still use it in production now. And believe that Jenkins not stopping to improving. Jenkins have a good support, good community. Jenkins have a lot of plugins. So I was I participated in 4 projects, and all these projects on production, on high level, used Jenkins as build tool. So third, it's Python. Python very often used when you need to implement some difficult logic in your jobs, Jenkins jobs or pipelines. Fourth, it's Groovy language. You need only know the basics. Groovy is like Java, but scripted Java. Almost the same functions, almost the same syntax, and you need only basics because Jenkins pipelines, modern Jenkins pipelines, used Groovy as a language of creating these pipelines. Git not the last and not the first. I think after Linux it's second, because Git it's a very important tool and it's used in code versioning, and I think it's mandatory. You must respect Git. You need to know not only Git merge as DevOps engineer. You need to know not only Git merge, Git rebase, Git push. You need to know advanced features of Git, because when in one day some developer makes some mistake or creating some bug and build failed, you need to know, you need to roll back your build. You need to correctly set up your Git flow and your jobs. So Git is very important, and respect Git, and in one day Git knowledge will save your project. So also list of resources. Udemy have good courses. Also it's Coursera for sure. It's free online YouTube courses, free online YouTube videos. Also, I recommend to watch some presentations on some conferences about DevOps technologies like Jenkins, like Kubernetes, etc. And offline courses in your city, for sure. What you should learn in order, step by step, my point of view. First of all, even zero, it's Linux, because like I told you, Linux is the basis. And if even now cloud providers take some stuff, hardware stuff, system stuff on their side, but you still need, even in cloud, you need to know, you need to open your SSH terminal and copy your logs and parsing logs and finding logs what's happened. And then after Linux it's Git, like I told. Git it's also basis for code versioning. Second one, it's I think Python, better Python. Because Python, like I told, it's used in most Jenkins jobs and scripts for implementation of some difficult logic. Third, it's Jenkins. For sure, it's Jenkins, and after Jenkins, it's Docker. It's tool for containerization, and it used for dependency isolation in your build, in creating of your application and building your application. And also after Docker, the last it's I think Groovy basics, and this enough for starting. This will be enough. Also, additionally, you can learn Ansible and Terraform. It's needed for cloud managing, for creating new resources in cloud, like in AWS cloud, Google Cloud, Azure, And for sure, you also need some knowledge about, for example, AWS, because now it's most popular cloud provider, public cloud provider. And also Kubernetes. It's a good tool, important tool. It's used for microservices. And I think it's enough.
Okay, so any extra advice for people who want to dive into IT world, like for young and not so young specialists who want to want to shift their profession and want to dive into IT world?
Don't be afraid. Make learning as your habit or as your hobby, and set up your goals, manage your goals. Everyone can do it. Just set up your goals and going forward to this goal every day. I recommend to pump your problem-solving skills, because it's very important. And Google searching skills, it's too important in our day, because you can't know everything. You can't know everything. In one day, you need to quickly Google what is super function or I don't know, some special query for SQL. You need it, and you need to search it. And make this race to your new job as your personal challenge. And don't stop. Remember, even the sky is not the limit. Build your rocket and go to Mars.
Thank you, Leo. So here's a first-hand experience for you, and I hope you enjoyed this interview as much as Leo was trying to escape it. So here's our hero today, and make sure to comment and compliment him below for his first ever interview. And yes, let me know in the comments what your biggest takeaway was, and if you want to learn more about IT professions, if you want to learn more such first-hand experiences, and if you still haven't grabbed the ultimate guide on IT professions, there are both tech and non-tech related IT professions where you can pick up your direction. Also make sure to hit the like button so that more people could see this video, yes, and subscribe if you still haven't. And thank you for watching till the very end. Hope you liked this episode, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye.